New rumors say Detroit Lions wide receivers Jameson Williams could be on the move. The New York Jets should make the call, and I got a trade proposal for him. Let's go. Boy Green Daily starts right.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you like the video, hit subscribe as you're heading in, baby. That's a free way to contribute to the show. We have a full article in the YouTube description down below on this very topic matter of Jameson Williams potentially being available, and that revs my engine, baby. Here it is. Here was the note from NFL insider Albert Breer, who said on Monday, yesterday, that some people in NFL circles believe Detroit Lions wide receiver Jameson Williams could be traded. He could be on the move, is what old Albert Breer said. And if that's true, I'm the New York Jets. I'm calling the Detroit Lions right friggin' now, and I'm offering the 42nd overall pick for Jameson Williams. Take our second rounder. Boop. Trade offer sent, baby. Take it and give me Jameson Williams. Now, the reason why apparently the Lions could be interested in moving Jameson Williams is because of his contract. Jameson Williams has 1 year left on his rookie contract, 17.4. 1 year, let me rephrase that. He has 1 year left on his overall $17.4 million rookie contract. There's also a fifth-year option. I'll explain that in a minute. But if we're just talking about money for the 2025 season, he's due to count $5.4 million against the cap. So we got nothing money here. His base salary is $2.6 million. So it would be dirt cheap for this year. And then we get into the fifth-year option that the Jets or Lions or any team that would hold Jameson Williams' rights will have to make that decision by May 1st. The fifth-year option on Jameson Williams' contract is projected to be $15.49 million fully guaranteed. So again, let's settle this. Jameson Williams has a $5.4 million cap hit for this year of 2025. And next year, if you accepted that fifth-year option, which I would, it would be another year, $15.49 million fully guaranteed. So you'd have him under contract for under $22 million for the next two seasons. That's an absolute steal. And so bring it up, baby. NC Green says, why not a third rounder? I imagine there's going to be competition for the young man, and I'm fine giving up the second rounder. I'm totally cool, because who would you rather have, Jameson Williams or any receiver that could be on the board at 42? It's easy. It's Jameson Williams all friggin' day, baby. All bleeping day. I'm taking Jameson Williams, because I'm going to play a clip. This is from the NFL Combine, and head coach Aaron Glenn talked about how important speed is to the team. And he brings up Jamo, a.k.a. Jameson Williams, as an example. Let's go back. This is Aaron Glenn at the NFL Combine speaking with Ethan Greenberg and Eric Allen about how important speed is on offense. Roll the footage.
Can you speak about the importance of speed, the speed that you brought to the game yourself, and also the speed that you guys were killing people with in Detroit?
Yeah. Listen, and there were a number of guys that we actually scouted to play certain roles when it comes to that. Obviously, Jamo, or as the receiver position, because he was able to clear everything out. And then we had one of the best slot receivers in Amon St. Brown, right, to be able to work the underneath. So that was a huge help. And then the 1-2 punch with the running backs that we had. Man, we had the hammer, right, and then we had the guy that could just take it to the house anytime he gets the ball. So I think speed puts fear in the defense, especially at the certain positions, but allows everybody else underneath to be able to work and be able to make plays.
If Aaron Glenn is looking for somebody with Jameson Williams speed, why not just get groundbreaking idea here, Jameson Williams, baby? This guy is an elite speedster. He never ran a 40-yard dash, but he's previously claimed that he believes he could run a 4.1 40, which would, of course, shatter the record set by Xavier Worthy, who set the 4.21 40-yard dash record at the 2024 Combine. I'm telling you, man, Jameson Williams is exactly what the doctor ordered for the New York Jets. Here's the scouting report on Jameson Williams coming out of Alabama. Quote, a linear route runner with electric long speed to impact the game as a home run hitter or decoy, drawing defenders away from other elements of the offense. He has all the juice to find consistent separation on vertical, over, and post corner routes and could see monstrous production if paired with a high-end talent at quarterback, Lance Zierlein said before the draft. Folks, Jameson Williams is still, believe it or not, only 24 years of age. He will be 24 for the entirety of this upcoming season. In 3 seasons with the Detroit Lions, he's appeared in 32 games, has made 21 starts, has 83 catches for 1,396 receiving yards and 12 total touchdowns. What the Jets need is explosiveness, and that's exactly what Jameson Williams is. Go back to his college tape, 2021. Okay, he posted an FBS best 11 touchdowns of 30-plus yards. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. He's coming off the best year of his NFL career. He set new career highs in catches, receiving yards, touchdowns, and average yards per catch. That's 58 catches, 1,001 receiving yards, 8 total touchdowns, and he averaged 17.3 yards per clip. So he is explosive. He is young. Now, here's the issue. I don't give a shit about the contract. That's totally fine. That's dandy. I'll take it for this year. I'll accept the 5th-year option. No problem there. The problem is with Jameson Williams is my man likes getting suspended, unfortunately. He's on a suspension streak right now. He's been suspended twice in the National Football League. In 2023, he was suspended for violating the NFL's gambling policy. He had to miss 6 games. This past season, he was suspended for violating the NFL's performance-enhancing substance policy. He missed another 2 games there. So my boy gets in trouble. However, Aaron Glenn knows who this guy is. He was with the Detroit Lions in the pre-draft process when they identified and selected Jameson Williams, and he's been with them his entire career until he just took the Jets job this offseason. When you take a potential problem child, the one thing you want to know is, who is this guy? Aaron Glenn would know that better than anybody, who this guy is. He'd be a perfect complement to Garrett Wilson. It would open up things underneath. Exactly what Aaron Glenn just explained at the Combine is what it would do for this Jets offense. So, again, I'm calling Detroit. I'm saying, hey, is this Albert Breer stuff real? Or is he available? Okay. Here's a 42nd overall pick. You don't have to pay him. You got a bunch of people you got to pay. Hayden Hutchinson, all these people left and right you got to pay. You're running out of money. We'll help you out. Help me help you. Here's the 42nd overall pick. Get a brand new receiver. And we'll take Jameson Williams, 24 years of age. Pair him with Garrett Wilson and have a dynamic 1-2 punch. So I feel really good about it, man. I feel real good about it. Love it. Give it to me. I would take Jameson Williams all bleeping day. He'd be a perfect complement to Garrett Wilson. Aaron Glenn knows the player pre-draft as a scout, knows the player in the NFL, was with him as NC says. He knew him for both of his suspensions, so he was around him for that. Yes. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Elite speed. Elite. An absolute freak that you always have to account for. If you're an opposing defense, you're like, where the hell is that Jameson Williams guy, baby? Where is Jameson gosh darn Williams? Tony Alexio says, let's find our own. F that. When you could get a Jameson Williams at 24 years of age, 24? Oh, yes. If he's available. I'm not giving up 7th overall. That's crazy. His contract situation, everything. I'd give up 42. And I think 42 is going to beat almost any other offer on the table, to be honest with you. So give it to me, baby. Michael James says, speed, just draft Golden. It's not just speed. There's plenty of fast guys. John Ross, do you remember who that is? Michael James? Do you remember who John Ross is? Who was threatening to break combine records when he came out of school? He's the 10th overall pick to the Cincinnati Bengals. It's worth a Goog. It's worth a Google search. Long story short, he didn't work out in the NFL. It's not just speed. Jameson has the speed. But it's the proven production. He's coming off a wonderful season, the best season he's ever had at the NFL level. So it's the speed, but the rest of his game. And he could do reverses. I mean, you saw that in the playoff game where he had the crazy, 60-yard touchdown. I mean, he's a freak. He's a freak. And Tanner Angstrand, our Jets' new offensive coordinator, obviously he knows him pretty well. There's just a lot of connective tissue and know the offense. Oh, boy. Woo-wee. Yes. Sign me the hell up. Phil asks this. Why are they giving up on a talent like that in Williams? Again, two things. One, contractually, they have to pay people. They have to pay Aiden Hutchinson. He's going to get crazy buco bucks. And the number for edge rushers keeps going higher, higher, higher. And, quite frankly, it's really, to me, plainly about the money. I don't think it's really about the suspensions. Who cares? Again, you want him on the field, obviously, so who cares? Obviously, that's important. You want him on the field, but I don't think they think anything like that based on it. But it's contractually. Eventually, you got to make big boy decisions. Can we find another receiver? Jameson, this is a crazy comp, but right, why did the Chiefs give up on Tyreek Hill? Tyreek Hill has had awesome seasons for the Dolphins, but they didn't want to pay the money. So let someone else pay the money. We'll try to do it a different way. And they won 2 straight Super Bowls after Tyreek Hill got traded. So why would they give up on a talent like that? Money. Buco bucks is why. You have to make big boy decisions in roster construction. You can't pay everybody. So again, he is 24 right now, will be 24 for the entirety of the upcoming 2025 season. Yeah, the age, the talent, the Aaron Glenn knowledge. It really is quite intriguing, quite frankly. Yeah. Havmo63 says, hate giving up the pick, but look at the player, baby. Look at the player. Yes, Jameson Williams was a first-round pick, so he has a 5th-year option on his contract. The Lions traded up. They're at the back end of the first round. They traded up with the Vikings. He was like a top 12 pick, Jameson Williams. Yeah. Jimmy Jet says, not 42. I'd maybe give up 73. Sure. Would I give up 73? Yes. But I think there's going to be a competitive market for Jameson Williams. People are going to be looking at him. And if we could get him for 3rd, awesome. But to me, I don't want to play around. I'm willing to give up 42. That's just how highly I think about Jameson Williams. Michael James says, draft Golden, have him cheap for 5 years. I'm not going to spoil things, Michael, but I've got another plan with that first-round pick. And me and Woody's mock draft comes out at 3 o'clock live on the show. So I don't want to spoil anything, but I've got a different plan in the first round. Wink. All right. Come back at 3 o'clock. You'll see what I'm talking about, baby. Lucas says, was he from Garrett's draft year? Correct. Yes. He was 2022. That was the Drake London draft. Garrett Wilson, Jamo. Who else was in that? Let me get all the other receivers from that class. Let me see. Who else? That was a big receiver draft. Who did we have here at wide receiver in the 2022 draft? Okay. All right. So we had Drake London. We had Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave. How could I forget? Jamo. It went wide receiver at 10, 11, 12. Boom, boom, boom. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Detroit. And the Saints moved up for Olave. The Lions moved up for Jamo. What other receivers? Jahan Dotson. Boy. Yikes. Traylon Burks. Boy. Glad we got our receiver. There's a lot of Traylon Burks wide receiver hype that year. Yikes. Christian Watson was in this draft. Wan'Dale Robinson. Yikes. John Mechie III. Yikes. Tyquan Thornton. Yikes. George Pickens. All right. He's a crazy bastard, but pretty damn good. Alec Pierce, Sky Moore. You get the point on that wide receiver class. Get it while the getting's good, quite frankly. But yes, that was his class. Yes. Dade County McFly says Golden has elite speed. Again, it's more than just elite speed. Speed helps, certainly. But you need the rest of the package. Jamo has the rest of the package. Lucas says, how will we pay everyone? Those decisions will come in due time, Luca. Those decisions come in due time. We can't pay everybody. The fact of the matter, no NFL team can pay everybody. The Eagles are doing a hell of a job always paying everybody. But, Yeah, we'll see. Dade County McFly says, Pops drafted Golden first. Yeah, there's the trade down, dropping down from 7 to 20. I like the move, personally. I like the move. Yeah. If you could do it, that's a great move. Yeah. Shout out to my Pops. He got a raving review from our draft analyst yesterday. Drew Beatty. I was about to call him Drew McIntyre. Whoops. It's funny. This is why I love doing this, right? So I say, I want to give up 42 overall for Jameson Williams. Bill like, that's too expensive. Maybe a third, fourth, or fifth. And then Matthias Simon's like, I think it's going to take more than 42. Well. Some people say, 42 is just right, Paul. Other people say, way more. Someone says, way less. I don't know. I guess we're all doing this together. John says, Jets aren't going to be able to afford him in GW. They're already committing $50 million next year. Sauce, Garrett Wilson, and Jermaine Johnson. We'll get into that on a different show. That could have been today's show. But this Jamo thing was too tasty. Too tasty. And I disagree. I think they'll totally be able to pay both. Yeah. Again, Jamo you have if you traded for him. You have him for the next 2 years at $22 million total. It's pretty good. You don't have to pay everybody early. You could wait. Get him for 2 years at $22 million, and then we'll figure it out. That's what I say. Yeah. I love when this question comes through. It's one of my favorite questions. Joe Holmes says, if this guy is so good, why would Detroit trade him? So, Yo Holmes, has any good player been traded in NFL history? Has any good player been traded? If he's so good, why would someone do it? Organizations make dumb decisions all the time. Why do people do this or this or this? There's busts. There's things that work out. There's things that don't work out. Why would Detroit trade him? Because they don't have all the answers. They don't, Again, we go back to contract. That's why. Sometimes you have to trade good players contractually. Like, geez, we can't get Tyreek Hill. I just mentioned him earlier. Did the Chiefs think he was good? He nearly broke the all-time Calvin Johnson receiving record after leaving the Chiefs. Good players get traded all the time, Yo Holmes. All the time. Allen, bingo. Didn't Jameson play with Garrett at Ohio State before he transferred to Bama? That's true. So another one, baby. Sure. Yes, sir. Now, let's keep going through your questions. Jimmy Jets, who knows if Glenn wants him? Well, based on that answer at the combine, it sounds like he wants him. He says he's trying to find the speed like Jamo. That's straight from the horse's mouth. That's what I would say is why he would like him. He's talked him up a lot. Exactamundo, Taylor Strong. There's not a talent like Jameson Williams available at pick 42, which is exactly why I take 42. I think 42 is an incredibly valuable pick. But Jameson Williams? Jamo? Come on now. Come on now. Dade County McFly says, we need to be thinking realistically, not these fake stories before the draft. I disagree. What should we be talking about, Dade County McFly? Thinking realistic. What is realistic? Players fall in the draft all the time. Tyreek Hill getting traded out of nowhere. He's thinking realistically. A prominent NFL insider, who Albert Breer, I trust among the most respected, him, Jay Glazer. There's a few NFL insiders that I hold in very high regard, and their information seemingly is always right. So I push back on what you say, Dade, as what is realistic and what is not. I don't call this a fake story. When a Albert Breer comes out and says this, that means something. And to me, now I hear him say that, I say, okay, he could be available. Here's what I would do. I don't call this a fake story. This is what I would do. Oh, he might be available? Well, I'd offer this. And then you weigh the pros and cons of contractual reasons and all this other stuff. So I push back on that aggressively. Yeah. Tennessee Heisman's all about it. Would be cool. Would be nice if we could pull off this trade. It for sure would. And so everyone's been talking about the former Ohio State guys, like give me Chris Olave. Chris Olave, he's captain concussion right now, and that sucks. And I wish he didn't, but he's captain concussion. One more concussion, his career could be over. So Chris Olave, no thank you, unless it's like a 5th round pick or something, man. Give me Jamo though. Okay, give me some Jamo. The Jets do have players to sign, but they'll figure it out. I can't wait for the draft. The draft will be awesome. Hennessy Heisman, I won't bring your comment on the screen, but we might be aligned. Okay. Again, my mock draft coming out later. I got some big ideas. Alan says, I'm sad to think that my boy Ashton Genty will be gone by pick 7. He's my draft crush. I love Ashton Genty. Absolutely love Ashton Genty. So, I mean, that would be a crazy reaction if that happens. Yeah. Mark Sachetti here. Why would we saddle ourselves with his salary after this year? Saddle. I guess we just have different opinions on saddle. $22 million is the combined total for Jameson Williams over the next 2 years combined. That would be, if you want to split up the average, that's $11 million per year. The highest paid wide receiver in football is making $40+ million. We're paying 25% of that, and that's saddling with salary. That we have different opinions of saddling with salary, Marky and the Funky Bunch. Okay, we have different opinions of saddling. Then I think the next 2 years is an insane steal to have Jamo at $22 million for the next 2 seasons. But hey, different strokes, different folks. All right, different folks. Molon, the Jets aren't winning a Super Bowl in 2 years, though. Why trade for this guy? Why is every move about winning a Super Bowl? Why is every move about winning a Super Bowl? Jamo opens things up for Garrett Wilson. Jamo helps Justin Fields. Jamo helps Breece Hall. I don't get that. The Jets aren't winning a Super Bowl in 2 years, so why trade for this guy? Then why draft anyone? Why add anyone to the team? If we're not going to win the Super Bowl next 2 years, I guess we should just take our lunch pail and go home. Come on, Molon. Come on, man. What are we talking about? You make no sense. Every move is not just about winning the Super Bowl or not winning the Super Bowl. You're improving your team. Jets here. Jets with Jameson Williams here. They're better with Jameson Williams. Come on, man. Come on now. What are we talking about? All right, let's see. Let's go to, we've got a gifted membership here on the show, baby. T-Town Jet. Hit 'em with it. Love to see it. All right, let's see what member came to the Boy Green Coffee Club. That is Donovan Morgan. You're now a Boy Green Coffee Club member. Salute to T-Town Jet. You guys can join the Boy Green Coffee Club if you like in the YouTube description down below. Feel free to do so. Yeah, baby. Join the army. Let's get crazy. T-Town Jet, you now have 3 raffle tickets so far for this month. Appreciate you, pal. Thank you. Again, here's what is up for grabs this month, baby. You want to replace the BMAC emoji? Now is the time to do so. Would you like to take over this emoji? We currently have the, let me remove your comment, T-Town Jet. Thank you very much. The emoji bounty raffle. Highest bidder during the month of April gets to replace the BMAC emoji with any emoji you please that you would like. So, for sure, jump on the train, baby. Toot, toot. Toot, toot. Yes, let's go. Let's get some more comments here, and then we'll open up the phone lines. Yep. Hennessy Heisman. Everyone wants to draft the receiver in round 2 instead of a sure thing. And shouldn't Jet fans be a little bit more attuned with the Jets' history in the second round with wide receivers? Stephen Hill, Denzel Mims, Elijah Moore, Devin Smith. Need I go on? Come on, man. Our second round curse is awful at wide receiver. Absolutely awful. Come on now. Come on now. Awful. Disgusting. And why guess when you know? Again, we've seen Jameson Williams at the NFL level. Looks pretty good. He's coming off the best year of his career. Aaron Glenn knows Jamo. So even the concerns you would have had character-wise, for lack of a better word, you have inside knowledge. Tanner Engstrand, Lions guy. Aaron Glenn, Lions guy. Steve Hayden, Lions guy. Come on now. Let's go. NC Green would like to remind all of us we did draft Wesley Walker in the second round, and I would like to remind you, NC Green, that every blind squirrel eventually finds a nut. Blessed be he. But how many nuts is the blind squirrel going to find is the proper question, and apparently not many. Not many at all. Not many. Hey now. So it's a part of the process. Absolutely. Part of the process. Why don't we do this? We'll open up the phone lines. And again, we've got our big mock draft coming up, baby. It's coming up at 3 o'clock. Myself, James Woody. That will be my final mock draft that I submit to you great people out in the universe. So I can't wait for that. I am excited about the mock draft I'm going to cook up for all of you at 3 o'clock. And it may be the perfect mock draft. Not to toot my own horn, but toot. Toot, bleeping, toot. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. We've got 400 people in the room. Again, if you guys would like, there is an article in the YouTube description down below talking about this Jameson Williams Lions Jets story. And feel free to read the article. It's got all the juicy deets. Phenomenal piece. Feel free. Also, keep the memberships and tickets flowing, baby. Okay, it's down in the YouTube description and down below. Make sure you do. Join the Boy Green Coffee Club. That's our YouTube membership group. And coming up in just a matter of days, folks, it's 2 days away. The 2025 NFL Draft, of course, but also, okay, our live stream where we will be live on this program for 4+ hours. In conjunction with the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft with all kinds of special guests. It's going to be a real hoot. Plus, we'll have a special homage giveaway. I wear homage every day, baby. A homage giveaway for some lucky people that tune in and are supporting the show on draft night. So let's go. With that being said, let's hit a quick Boy Green timeout, and the phone lines are open next here on BGD.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Shout out to Hep, the legend. Phone lines are open. That's youtube.com/boygreen25. If you'd like to call into the program, feel free to do so. Take advantage of that opportunity. I know we missed a lot of callers at the end of the show yesterday. My apologies. The earlier you guys get in, the better chance you have, because obviously I have to go to the radio show after the show. So the earlier you guys call in, the more calls I can get. So sort of try to keep that in mind. I hate leaving people on the line. So please make sure you guys do that. Take full advantage. With that being said, let's get to those damn phone lines, baby. Hep graces us with his presence. What's up, Hep?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm just curious. Whatever happened to whatever happened to June the GM? I haven't seen him in a while.
Oh yeah, June. It's been a hot second, and also B-Mac, to your point, I can't remember. And to be honest, once we've gotten to draft time, it's been harder for me to see the Jake Asmans and some of the other shows because I'm catching up on all the insider content. Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah. I was just about to say, so I have no idea. He could be on there all the time. I've got no clue. So, no, yeah, June's been a hot second, and he must be preparing for that basketball game, I guess. And, then B-Mac, I don't know.
Yeah, I just hope he wasn't, that whole thing didn't spook him about coming on the show and stuff,
Yeah, and I want to say, I'm glad that you brought that part of it up, Pep, in general. I hope we all can just sort of, like, when I enter a movie theater, I suspend my disbelief. So in the middle of a Mission Impossible movie, I'm like, oh, nice jump, Tom Cruise. You can't do that in real life. I don't think like that. I'm just enjoying the movie. So to bring that in a weird way to Boy Green Daily, I hope that we can all sort of bust each other's balls and have a good time and talk on the show, and like that nothing is taken too personally. Again, there's always lines, but I just hope in general that we can all sort of have a good time. And so I hope that no one has taken great offense either way to anything. So I hope, like I said, we can sort of enter the show and accept that at the beginning, and there's going to be some ball busting going on, but it's all in good fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from that generation of ball busting. That's
Yeah.
almost how you showed affection towards them, because men don't show affection, like, right? You
Definitely
bust
not. No.
Yeah, you bust each other's balls, you know. So
Right.
that's what it is. But
Yeah.
anyway, if you're out there listening, June, come on back. It's no big deal. We love you. Peace
Yeah,
out.
100%. There you go, Hep. Appreciate it. Kind words, and that's how I don't say it all the time, but I hope that's like my father, right? Do you guys tune into the show every week? He's busted my balls since I've come out of the womb, for God's sakes. So yeah, man, it's part of it. Jimmy Jet says, "Can we just leave balls alone in general?" That's probably for the best, quite frankly. You know, a lot of ball busting, smacking balls, blue balls. This a lot of ball talk. Let's put the ball talk on the back burner. Actually, that sounds incredibly painful. Let's just put the balls aside. Anywho, let's get to the phone lines. We've got NY Jets FL here on the show. What's up, Ted?
Hey, Paul. In solidarity with your last statement, I took off my moniker. Starts with
no, I think that's good ball. But to me, I think that's good ball busting to remind, you know, like, because like to me, so here, and Ted, you could speak to this because you were on the receiving end of what a lot of people believe was a line crossing, and that, so you giving it back to him on a consistent basis, I sort of chuckle because it seems like you've, with everything just sort of spilled out there, you've taken it in as good a fun as you could take something like that. So yeah, but that's where a lot of people believe lines have been crossed in yesteryear, which then could lead to other things. But no, I thought it was funny.
Thank you. Yeah, me too. And if anyone noticed, it was misspelled, so it was purposely done. So like
Right.
the stereotype, the fact that I am evidently from the deep South and I never lived in New York and I have no sophistication and I have a bachelor's degree, but that's all irrelevant. So let's get on to the football, Paul. So
Yeah, sure.
I don't think I want Jameson Williams.
Oh,
I'd rather draft Ibuka or somebody else and take my chances.
I love Ibuka.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I love it in theory, and it's great when you think about it on paper.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I consider Jared Goff an elite quarterback, and a lot of people debated that a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But when you put a receiver, if you put Jameson Williams on the Jets with Justin Fields throwing to him, is he really going to be an elite receiver? I don't know. You know, Goff.
Lander, what the hell?
Goff is ridiculous when he's on point. I mean, he really is a really, really good quarterback. So, I mean, you know, it's like taking Jamar Chase, you know, and taking him away from Joe Burrow. I mean, what are you really going to get Chase? You are going to get a really good player, but will he be elite? I don't know. I don't know. I think on the rookie deal, I'd rather take one of these. If you're going to go wide receiver, I'd rather draft one and not have the impact of the two contracts such as Jameson Williams and Garrett. Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, this is going to be an aggressive way to put it, but it goes to show us, right? A couple years ago, we were all, I don't want to say we all, I don't know how many people were on it or off it, but I imagine a lot of Jet fans were. Tyreek Hill out of nowhere. Ooh, the Jets are in this thing. They could get Tyreek Hill. We're all like, holy freaking crap, Tyreek Hill. Good Lord have mercy. Terrific. Let's go. And the Jets just miss out on Tyreek Hill, and we hear all the reasons why and everything later. And then a month later, the Jets take some kid named, and I want to make sure I pronounce this right, Garrett Wilson. Well, it's always tough, but we take this Garrett Wilson guy, and you break down the numbers. Tyreek Hill made $30 million per year. That's more than in the entirety of Garrett Wilson's rookie contract at the time. And now you're throwing in the fifth year option, it's more. But when you looked at the 4-year contract that Garrett Wilson had as a rookie as a 10th overall pick versus what Tyreek Hill made per year, Garrett Wilson got less. So ultimately, right, they say sometimes this blessing in disguise. The best move you can make is a move you don't. And the move the Jets did not make on the Tyreek Hill thing was getting Garrett Wilson. And now we have, hopefully, this young superstar wide receiver forever. And so that, again, when you hit it right, that story sounds pretty good. When you draft Stephen Hill with the 10th overall pick, you're like, shit, wow, we should have traded for that Tyreek Hill guy. So I guess it's all trusting your own scouting ultimately.
Exactly. I think Moogie's press conference was really solid, and not for the Rodgers comments, or about his draft philosophy, where he basically stated, everyone, all these people in the organization have a say, and they, the medical and the scouts and the, people that watch the film, and then they can look at variables like they mentioned. One reporter asked a good question. What do you consider like body type? And that was referring to um, the offensive tackle from LSU. Having shorter arms. That it's a factor at the end decision. It's like it's a variable. It's not like a huge deal, but it's something to consider. If they don't want Will Campbell and he slides to 7, and they want offensive lineman and Membo's gone, I think they got to take him. I don't care. He's so productive. Anybody watching the LSU tape, and he's got a mean streak too. Mm-hmm. So that's the kind of, and Glenn talks about his kind of players, and you talk about, people talk about Tyler Warren, who's another, kind of a nasty, not want to say nasty player, but he's got a physical attitude, physical presence and attitude about the way he plays. Mm-hmm. I think those are Glenn's kind of guys. Yeah. So that's all I got. It's Paul. It's the most fascinating thing is the draft. The smoke screens, the psychology, the different, the games that they play and the reporters reporting. It's really ridiculous. It's wild. So nothing would shock me Thursday. Nothing would shock me Thursday. They can take, they can take Genti, or they can take, I don't care who whoever, Egbuka at 7. Anything goes, really. Goes.
That's the exciting part about it, Ted. Thanks, Ted. I appreciate it. I would just say this. A lot. If you guys did not see the Darren Muji press conference, it's a real hoot. It was 17 minutes in length. I love how he started off the press conference explaining what the hell they've been doing the last couple of weeks. He described it as bringing us behind the curtain, and super cool hearing about their process. And what Ted was referencing is most NFL teams have benchmarks at certain positions, right? Remember, we talked about with Bill Parcells, right? Aaron Glenn, shorter corner. He normally wants his corners at least this tall, whatever it was, 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", whatever it was. Says, hey, when I'm picking a corner, these are the rules. They have to be at least this tall, this weight, this. Offensive tackles, at least this arm length, at least this. There are certain thresholds for a lot of teams and say you have to meet this, and this. If you don't, you're off the board. I'm not even thinking about you. I'm going to this. It was interesting, Muji's answer, because the question would be Will Campbell if he's still available. Is he just going at 4 to the Patriots? I've heard a lot of buzz about that. We all have probably. Maybe that's just the answer. But I'm curious on the thresholds because, again, we don't really have a sense on thresholds. Darren Muji, and he described it this way too, he went from the guy suggesting picks, and now he's the guy making the picks. Big difference. Aaron Glenn was the guy who maybe suggested picks. Now he's helping make picks. It'll be curious to see that process. But I love the Darren Muji presser yesterday. A lot of takeaways, and again, we'll cover some of that on the show tomorrow. We have a very special guest joining us, a former NFL Network host. There's a little hint. We'll be talking some New York Jets tomorrow and some of that Darren Muji presser. We'll save that for tomorrow. Good things come to those who wait. We got 500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, baby. Appreciate the support. Let's keep rolling on the phone lines. We have the legendary EZ here on the program. What's up, EZ?
Good morning.
It's good to see you, pal.
Am I centered in the screen?
Yes, you are. You are perfectly centered.
First off, yesterday you were laughing at me. I was not advocating for the Jets to do a wishbone offense. Okay, first and foremost, that would never work in the that would, because I think guys were thinking I was talking about it. No, I was mentioning it. I saw a documentary on it, and it was a really interesting documentary. It showed how when it first came in to college, the teams that ran it were kicking the crap out of people. It would never work in today's NFL because the players are too fast, and they would string it out, and every play would go for a 4-yard loss. Okay,
when I was laughing yesterday, it had absolutely nothing to do for your wishbone offense. It was simply on a lot of these calls recently, it looks like you're entering the atmosphere. There's a lot of shaking, and then you must have hit a pothole or something because then you had a great vertical jump. I wish I had the combine measurements out.
I'm sorry.
That was. So that I couldn't control myself. And then I see Drew. He's laughing because I know.
Oh yeah, he was like. I thought you guys thought. No, I wasn't advocating for that. That was. Right. I was just saying it was if you get a chance to watch it, it's a really good documentary.
I love it, Easy. You bring a lot to the table. So to me, I love that we're throwing things and talking about them.
Well, the point I was actually making yesterday was I think Breece Hall's going to test free agency, so we may as well trade him while we have an opportunity. That was the main point I was making about yesterday. Now, here's what I'm going to talk about today. I agree with you. I agree we take a flyer on Jameson Williams, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Okay, so like everything that you said, that Aaron Glenn knows the kid, he knows his heart, he knows his work ethic, he knows everything about him. You straighten him out. He's cheap for 2 years. So you take him for the 2 years if you can get him, because it's always an if you can get him for the right price.
Sure.
And then if he works out, then you worry about the money. If he doesn't work out, just let him walk. But at least for 2 years, we got something good, and it gives us an opportunity to still draft somebody and groom them and bring them up.
Sure,
absolutely. But he's an instant fix. And the only reason the Jets didn't take him in the draft was because of his leg injury. I said, didn't he have an ACL or something?
Yeah, he definitely had something.
Game?
Yeah, because
I think he blew out an ACL in like a championship game or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right, because I knew he was not struggling, whatever the word is, through the preseason process.
He was the number one guy on like everybody's board, and to Detroit's credit, they were like, "Look, when this guy heals up, he's going to be amazing. Just get him. I don't care if it's first round. Just get him. He's going to be great." And they did, and he is great.
Yeah, it was before the season. It looks like he tore his ACL during the summer of 2022, if I have this correct, and then he ended up coming back eventually, and ended up making plays. So there you go.
Right.
That makes sense.
He would have been a top 10 pick. I think he almost was. When did Detroit pick him?
They traded up. Let me see. I thought he was 12, but let me double check. Yeah, 12. So they were at like 27, 28, and they called up the Vikings and made this massive trade up to 12 to get him.
Yeah, he might have made it down to like 15, but he was never going to make it up to where they were.
Definitely
never.
Not, right. Yeah.
But if he wasn't injured, he'd probably been a top 5. I believe that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the injury probably scared a few teams off. Yeah.
And I understand why, but putting him on the field with Garrett Wilson would be that'd be great, because we got the three-headed monster in the backfield.
For sure.
If we get Tyler Warren, that could be good, or another really good. There's a couple of good tight ends, aren't there? Like 3 or 4 like really good tight ends this year's draft.
For sure, Colston Loveland, Terrence Ferguson, Aronde Gadsden, Mason Taylor, Gunnar Helm. I mean, Harold Fannin Jr., my dad's boy. Yeah, there's a lot of really good tight ends in this class.
See, this is how I do draft in my head. I look at the positions that we need and the quality of the players out there, and then I say to myself, okay, which players, if we don't take him, will we not be able to get this kind of a quality player later on? And this is where my head was at, because I was all about taking Sauce Gardner, and my theory was there's 2 good cornerbacks and then it drops like a rock, whereas there were about 5 to 7 really good, edge rushers in that draft. So that's why I was all about, you got to take Sauce, you got to take Sauce, you got to take Sauce, because if you don't get him, you're not going to get anybody even half as good as him. Whereas if you take a edge rusher, there are about 3 or 4 more really stupid good edge rushers that you can grab later on. So you got to get the guy that you can get when you can get him, if he's like one of the few available. So that's where I am with this draft. I'm going between, like we said, Tyler Warren and and Mason Graham, and I heard there's like this other big, like 6'8" stud like monster. Who's that guy that everybody's been talking about?
What position does he play?
Oh, he's a defensive lineman. I think he's an interior defensive. He's like 6'8".
Yeah, Deion Walker out of Kentucky is a big boy. That used to be. Hey, before this year, he was mock draft to the Jets in the first round, and he didn't have a great year, so he's fallen into the mid rounds. Yeah, I love Deion Walker. I'd love Deion Walker.
The thing I'm trying to figure out with our first round pick, where is it that it's a rarer commodity in this year's draft? Is it tight end? Is it edge rusher? Or is it O-line? Because whichever the leanest position is in the draft,
that's what you want to attack.
That's what I want to attack first, because there's more opportunities to get good players in a late round. I want to get that blue chip guy while I have the opportunity to get him. And that's where I was in that draft where we got Sauce, because it was Sauce and Stingley.
Yeah,
and then
they went 3 and 4. Yeah,
and then everything was like. I mean, I'm not saying the other players are trash. I would never say that another college player is trash, because these kids, they work their asses off. But I'm saying, as far as the highest possible ceilings, it was Stingley and Sauce, and then there was a big drop off. So that's why I was like all about getting him. Just, you got to grab him, get him now. It's a premium position also, so you got to get him.
And elite GM, Easy. Hey, that Sauce guy's been pretty good. They listen to you, Easy. Mm-hmm.
Right. So, where is your feeling on this? Who do you think is the rarest commodity, and why would you pick that guy at number 7 if he's available? And I'll hand it back to you.
I appreciate it, Easy. Thanks for the question. The rarest position, basically the position I don't think has a lot of depth and is a need for the Jets, and I would attack it to make sure I get somebody so I don't get screwed. Well, I mean, ultimately depends on how your group and scouting staff feels about the offensive tackles, because if you believe in Ozzie Trapilla, which has been a very popular right tackle pick in the 2nd or 3rd round for the Jets, or Ariante Ursary out of Minnesota, or I don't know if Josh Connolly Jr. is going to be available there, but, like, if you feel good about that 2nd, 3rd level of tackles, you're good passing at 7. The same thing at tight end. Are you a Tyler Warner, Colston, Loveland guy? If you are, do you just hit while the iron's hot, or do you wait for whoever that guy is? I'm trying to think of anything else. Ashton Genty at the top, or you take a running back later? Who else am I thinking of? Defensive tackle. Again, it seems like there's a lot of guys from my peanut brain of Tyleik Williams, Kenneth Grant. We mentioned Deion Walker earlier. He'll be more in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round probably, but that's another position. But the one I guess I would say, for the sake of your question, it would probably be I'd probably say offensive lineman. I would say offensive tackle. That's probably where I would lean as the one that's richest. And then, you don't know what the next level is. I have hopes for the next level, but I don't feel as confident. So that would probably be it if I used that strategy. We got a ton more callers here. Let's go. This guy hasn't been on the show in a long time. Dre Correa has graced us with his presence. He's back, baby. What's up, Dre?
Hey, how you doing, Big Paul? Listen, I wanted to say before anything else, I visited Syracuse last week.
Hey now. Nice.
For the very first time ever. Never been there before.
And what were your thoughts? That's it, baby.
It's so. I attended Rutgers out of my freshman year. I went to.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That was my that was my first expression into going to a big college campus.
Sure, yeah.
Like that. I got that same vibe from Syracuse. That the university is kind of like the big thing in the city.
Oh, absolutely, it is. Yeah.
Went for that Metallica concert.
Oh yeah, there was on. Oh my God, WrestleMania night. There was Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was amazing. I had a great time.
Good.
Never
I'm glad,
seen
man.
Metallica live before. I didn't have out on my bingo card that I was going to turn into a metalhead in my 50s, but that works.
Hey, yeah.
So, I had a great time, great energy. Those guys are old.
Oh, yeah.
Still rocking, that was crazy. But
is it still a good show, though?
Great show. Fantastic.
Okay.
I'll tell you right now, the only reason why you know that they're old is because like they have wrinkles and gray hair. But the energy level.
Okay, that's what I was going to be worried about. Like,
No,
right? Because
yeah,
you get it
absolutely
on the
not.
billboard, right? Metallica. You're like, yeah, Metallica.
Yeah,
And they
no,
show up, you're like, who are these old guys on stage?
listen.
Where's the energy? Where's the whatever? That's good to hear.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if you remember the movie Cocoon, but they are
Sure.
literally old people with the energy of the young people and everything like that. You wouldn't know just to the way they perform and everything like that.
Oh, that's
Great
cool.
show. Fantastic.
Awesome.
Shit. Aside from all that, I gotta say, your suggestion, Jameson Williams, that's really intriguing to me. I really like that idea of pairing Garrett and Jamo because, as you may know, there was a pre-draft show where they were kind of followed Garrett and Jameson was already hurt. He had already had the surgery and he was in the process of rehabbing. So it'd be interesting. It'd be a dynamic. I think they would work off of each other very well. I think it could be really, really interesting. My concern would be what we would have to give up.
Yes. Yeah, there's been debate about that in the comment section, what people believe, whether my 42 overall in the second round is too high, too low. There's debate all over the place. Yeah.
But I don't like if you're holding Jameson Williams, are you giving him up for anything less than the number 42? I mean, he was a first round pick. I should get a first round for it. So I don't know how that would work.
Sure.
But it's a very interesting idea behind it, and then kind of saves us from having to get a wide receiver in the draft and everything like that. But I'm sure we'll see what they come out. I haven't done enough of the research yet to kind of have a pick. Oh, we have to have this guy, that guy. I've never been good at evaluating talent. I just know talent when I see it. Like that's why I'm such a huge Garrett Wilson fan. Like Garrett Wilson was it for me. Like I don't know if you remember last year, I got a lot of shade, especially being on Jake's show. For 28 touchdown island, which
I remember that.
Yeah,
and I love it because Terrence on our show. What did he say? Oh, he had Terrence on our program had something like he thought so you had touchdowns, he had catches. He thought he was going to have something like, and I'm going to forget the number now, but like 150 catches. I'm like, what in the world?
Wow.
He's like, yeah, man, he's just going to be getting like 10 catches a game. I'm like, I'm doing the math. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess so. And so Terrence was tooting the horn really hard. He'll remind us. I'm sure he's in the chat. He'll remind us of whatever that prediction was on Garrett. But a lot of G-Dub hype and for good reason. I love Garrett.
Yeah. So, I think that Garrett, hopefully Garrett can get to that level one day. I'll keep my fingers crossed. And at this point, I can't even say anything like, any guarantees or anything like that for this year. Like, last year broke me. It really did.
I can't blame him. Yeah.
So I'm just best player available. Please let this leadership have some sense of idea. Let them know what they're doing. Please just give them the foresight. And hopefully it all comes through. But as far as like talk or trash talk or anything like that, I'm gonna be quiet all year. I'm just silent because I want to believe, but they're gonna have to show me something because I've had the wool pulled over my eyes too many times. And as a Jet fan, to be, this is the year. No, you know what? I don't even know. I'm just watching. I hope to see something great. That's it. I'm leaving it at that. That's as positive as I can be.
Which fair enough, Trey, and great to have you back on the show. Glad that you were back here in the Salt City for the first time here in Syracuse. It's a beautiful little quaint town. It's very nice. I live in Oswego, which is like 45 minutes out from Syracuse. I drive to Syracuse every day for my radio job, and it's a nice place. But very well said. The Syracuse University that on the hill sort of runs the operation. Terrence Hill says he's here in the chat. No doubt, 100 catches by week 10. That was the take. I knew he had something. 100 catches by week 10. Unfortunately, it did not happen. But hey, he ended up with the second most receptions of any Jets receiver all time, right behind Brandon Marshall. So not too shabby there, Garrett Wilson. And only the second receiver tight end anything to have 100+ catches in a season. It's Brandon Marshall at 109, and now Garrett Wilson. That's the list. So Garrett, a very, very special player. Let's keep rolling on the phone lines. Up next, we have Ricky New York, baby. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, what's happening, Paul? You know what? I'm pretty much done talking about the draft until it happens.
Sure.
I'm gonna probably not be calling in a lot of shows between now and then because I almost feel that it's a moot point. You know, after a while, like what's going to happen is going to happen. You know, it's out of our control, no matter who we like. And if anything, the Jets have taught me over the years that if there's a guy I really, really like, that's who they're not going to take. You know, most of the time. What I did want to say is, oh gosh, like part of my point is escaping me. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to switch gears. I'm going to switch gears real
sure.
quick here.
Yeah, call an audible. That's fine. All right, Coach, let's go.
You know, the thing with the Jameson Williams thing, it is interesting, and you know, he could be, you know, our Jameson Williams to, you know, Garrett would be our Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Correct.
And
Right.
See
Yeah.
that kind of combination has worked together. However, the money, you know, then you're going to have two receivers on expiring deals. I mean, we're already talking about, you know, Brees and this and that, and we're not going to be able to keep everybody. So you want to bring in yet another guy that we're not going to be able to keep. That's where I differ, and I would rather take somebody in the draft. And speaking of taking people in the draft, my goodness. I think if I hear one more person say we need to trade Brees, my head is going to friggin' explode. Do people not understand what the deepest running back class in a decade means? It means there are so many good running backs in this class that literally a third of the league could come away with a starter who is on a rookie deal. We're going to take our second round pick running back that we think we can do better than, and we're going to trade him for what? A third, a fourth? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. That is just completely ludicrous. It does not make sense at all. The other thing I want to say is, you know, I had a thought last night, and we were talking about this, and so many people get hung up on the positional value, you know, whether it be Tyler Warren, you don't take a tight end. But I get flack for my Matthew Golden take. I wouldn't mind Matthew Golden, but not at 7. Let me ask you something. If not at 7, when? Okay. Yes, I understand, like, he's not Justin Jefferson. Okay. He's the best receiver in this class. He'll probably be the first receiver taken, you know, unless 3 siblings is making the pick for somebody. But the thing is you say not at 7. Well, guess what? If you're going to talk about positional value and stuff, tight end at 7 is you know, not normal.
Right tackle at 7, all these other things, sure.
Yeah, right tackle is a complete reach at 7. But those are all, you know, fair points. But if I say something about a receiver, you know, I catch flack for it. And
I think, and Ricky, you've said this before. To me, if there's a player you like, you take the player. You don't get cute. Well, if I technically trade to 14, that'd be more value. I pick up a 4th. I pick up a this. I pick up a that. Come on, man. If you love the player, you're like Matthew Golden is unequivocally, right? You have this take and you think he's the number 1 wide receiver in this class. He'd be a perfect compliment for Garrett. Then what are we talking about? Stop talking to me and submit the pick, baby. Like, let's not get too cute. You get cute, you can lose your guy. Unless, like I said, it's a 7-9 drop to New Orleans, and you have great sourcing that Carolina's taking a pass rusher, let's say. You know what the Saints are moving up for, probably a quarterback. Then, okay, I'm more than willing to go from 7-9 because all my players I want at 7 are going to be there at 9. I just picked up an extra pick. But you start dropping beyond that, that's where it gets a little freaky.
Yeah, exactly. And I've had that happen to me in several mocks where, like, say I traded back to 9 with New Orleans, or you know, 11 with San Francisco or whatever. And I'm like, ooh, look, there's still 2 or 3 guys that I like that are still on the board. And then I end up moving back to like 19, and those 3 guys go boom, boom, boom. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, damn it. You know, because I had a mock like that recently where not only the top guys that we always talk about, But Golden, Kenneth Grant, Nick Eamon-Wari went, inside the top 20. And then I'm sitting there damn it, and not to sound like a hypocrite for what I just said, but then I'm like, okay, well, now I'm sitting here in the 20s and I don't see anybody with the value that I want that's still here. And I outsmarted myself by trying to trade one too many times, which I'm not worried about that happening in real life because it's hard enough to trade down once. Doing it twice in the first round, not going to happen. But and don't get me wrong, I love it. You get one of those crazy, I feel like an 8th grader fucking mocks where you trade back several times and it's like, I've got 19 picks now. I can build a whole team. That kind of stuff doesn't happen in the real world. But you know what? At the same time, I think we could make a slight move back and still come away with a very good player. I'm not opposed to that at all if the opportunity presents itself. And one thing I got to say, we did a mock on Green Bean's channel last night.
Yep.
That turned out really, really well, by the way. Like we came away with a haul. But oh crap! No, I'm not fully awake today, so I'm kind of losing my train of thought.
That's all right.
But yeah, it's oh, that's what I was going to say. These mock simulators, God, they friggin' annoy me because I'll say, okay, I want to trade back. So I offer a trade and it's like, okay, I'll give you, our number 7, our 4th rounder and a 6th rounder. And no, not enough. And I'm like, oh geez. Okay. I'll give you 7 and a 3rd rounder and a 5th rounder. No, not enough. And I'm like, and so I just don't do the trade because they're trying to, hold me over a barrel. And then my next pick, they'll send me a trade and it's like, okay, for number 42, Cleveland is offering you 7th this year and a 6th next year. And it's like, some crap pick and a bunch of future picks. And it's like, what the hell? I wasn't offering enough, but they think this is good enough to send me? It's very strange the way they do that. You make good offers and the thing just tells you not enough, not enough, not enough. And then every time you're up to pick, they send you some complete garbage offer that somehow is okay. Why are they allowed to send me crap that's wasting my time, but I can't do it to them?
It's a good point, Ricky. It's a good point on these mock draft simulators, man.
And the other thing is when you look at the mock draft simulators, it took me a while to figure this out. It's like, okay, well, I took this guy. They've got him ranked at, say I took this guy at 42 overall. He's ranked 22nd on their rankings, but then they give me a B- for the pick. What's up with that? But it's not where they have that guy ranked or where he's ranked amongst his position. It's where he's ranked as far as overall players that are left. So if they've got guys that are ranked higher at, defensive tackle or tight end or whatever, if you take Nick Eamon-Wari, who would be a good pick, it doesn't matter because their number 19, number 20, number 25 player are still on the board, and you took, the number 29.
Right, so you get judged harshly for it. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so it's you know what? If I got to be honest, I think the mock drafting system could use a little bit of tweaking in that regard. I mean, it's good, and it's gotten better. And as time goes on, it has gotten better. But I still think, the grades that they give out, I think should have to do with more with positional value, team needs, etc., as opposed to just overall who's on the board. Because what if there's a bunch of really highly rated guys on the board that you don't take because they're not in a position that you need? you shouldn't be penalized for that.
You shouldn't be, and appreciate the call, Ricky. The same thing NC Green says, that the PFF mock simulator is Trevor Sikkema's ratings. That's true. If you do fantasy football drafts, I do that, of course, every fall, right? I use Yahoo Fantasy Football. That's always been my favorite app of choice to use. But if I take a player they don't like at a certain round, they're like, what an idiot. And then I'm like, geez. But it's really based off their ranking. So take that with a grain of salt if you can. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. We got Mr. Legendary Famous Fulton Mraz here on the show. What's up, Mr.
Hello,
Fulton?
Paul. How are you this morning?
Who's this dog here? Who is this?
This is Luna.
Oh, Luna. My daughter's name is Raya Luna. Okay, great taste. Hey, Luna.
Yep. So I'm getting ready for my Colts Hall of Fame this Saturday.
Oh, congratulations. And I love the shades. You got a lot of swag going on, Mr.
Yep. That's why I'm famous, Paul. That's why I'm famous.
It makes sense. Well, thank you for not forgetting about us little people. I appreciate that as you're getting big, legendary, and famous and whatnot, Mr. Fulton. I'm glad you still have time to call into the show.
Yeah. So do we have any so I was thinking that we have the Colts draft picks coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, sure. 14th overall. Yeah.
Right. So do you think we might get another quarterback, another running back, or something like that?
Yeah, I would say I was a big fan of Anthony Richardson, the talent, but between me, you, and the four walls, I think he's getting beat out by Daniel Jones for the quarterback competition there. And at 14, I think the Colts are taking the best tight end on the board. They're doing a rain dance open. Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland is there at 14. And if they are, great. If they're not, maybe it's an offensive lineman pick for Indy.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. Legendary Famous, Mr. Fulton. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Let's go to a guy equally as famous, as far as I know, Johnny Boy, here on the program. What's up, Johnny?
BG, good morning, brother. How you holding up, man?
Hey, God bless, man. First and foremost, like the glasses. Good black frame there. Very bold, very pronounced. Quite nice.
I gotta use it for my my computer, man. Look at it for so much, it messes up my eye. But
yeah.
The Jameson Williams.
Yeah, Jamo, baby. Huh? You on it? 2-2?
If we were in a position for me to be like, we're a wide receiver away.
Yeah,
I would be all about it, but I can't. I mean, kind of like what Ricky was talking about in regards of the contracts and all that.
Mm-hmm.
What's his contract right now? Like, he has
so for this year, he's due like $5 million in base salary for this year. So this year's nothing, no money. And then the fifth year option, the Jets, Lions, or any team that controls his rights before May 1st can exercise a fifth year option that's another $15 million. So basically, over the next 2 years, he's owed $21 million in change, and so it's chump change, relatively speaking, in my eyes, for who Jamo is. And then obviously he's after, so what would it be, 2027, he'd be a free agent, so you have to make a decision then. But yeah, he's got 2 years of relatively cheap control. Definitely cheap this year, and then it's a little bit more expensive next year.
Wow, that's bugged out. See, so I didn't know that piece of it. I mean, then that's a conversation to be talked about.
Oh, here we go, Johnny.
Pairing them up with Garrett Wilson, I mean, I could see the upside in regards to that. Aaron Glenn knows him very well.
Yeah.
Right. So there you go with that. And then the Justin Fields relationship, it's already been held there as well.
Sure.
So, and giving more weapons to him.
Yeah.
I mean, a 42nd, I think I would do it.
There you go, Johnny. Welcome to the club, baby.
With that contract. And that's crazy, though, man. If that was to happen, I don't think it's going to happen, man.
It's weird. This came out of nowhere. Like I said, it all came from Albert Breer yesterday, who said people in league circles believe that Jameson Williams could be moved. And it's basically the contract thing. Lions have to pay everybody eventually. So it's not the money that's remaining now. It's that, oh, boy, we're eventually going to have to pay him. And they're like, oh, we got a lot of other guys to pay. And maybe that will result in them trading him. I'm like, sign me up. I'd take him. Yeah.
So how excited are you for all the mock drafts to be finally finished? The draft talks coming to an end.
Yeah.
Me hyped up for.
Yeah, I mean, like Ricky said, like he's done with mock drafts and drafts, and then talks more mock drafts and drafts. So I don't think he's really as done as he says he is. But I know some people say, "Jesus, we're waiting forever for the draft and all this other stuff." To me, I don't mind the wait. I like that we get to have all these great conversations because there's always in May, the middle of May, second week of May, after we get through draft grades and stuff, boom, the schedule release, and we're talking about that. So there's enough tentpole events, and I'm totally fine with the draft having as much time as possible. I dropped my final mock with Woody at 3:00, so that's going to be fun. So it will be good, though, to eventually get to the draft and picks are being made. We're like, holy shit, this isn't a simulation anymore. We're out of the robot machine. There are real picks happening here. There will be something pretty cool about that for sure.
Oh, hell yeah, I can't wait, man. Hey, did you see the video that Snowball put out?
No, what?
So on Jets Worldwide
YouTube channel?
Yeah, YouTube channel. He put a video out
all right
of Membu, one plate with a dog treat, Tyler Warren, dog treat.
Yeah.
And then who's the third one, man? Membu, Tyler Warren, and McMillan. It was.
Oh, Ted McMillan. Okay.
And then it ended up his dog Bruce picks which one, and he's smelling all three of them. He ends up going Membu. So with that being said, I think Membu is going to be the pick.
It's official.
Hey, what Easy said, the one position of need that hasn't been talked about, that nobody's been talking, dude, it's kicker, bro. I mean, kicker, it's a must. I mean, at 7. What are you even
just
doing?
Get it out of the way, 100%. Let's just let's punt on other positions, wink, and let's get kicker. I like it. Okay.
Dude, I don't think there's anybody out there saying that. I honestly,
not yet.
At this point, I would probably suggest us even trading up and getting a kicker. I mean, it's that important of a need, But Boy Green, I wanted to get your thoughts in regards to that. Kicker from FSU, maybe. I don't know. Question mark.
Okay, there you go. Well, Johnny, appreciate the call. I'm sure Ricky New York would advocate for that as a Florida State guy. That's one that's not been getting enough love. Kicker. Heps talked about it. So Heps, our resident kicker expert on the show, he's been saying, hey, man, got to lock in that kicker. 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 Could come into play. We have over 500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Let's take one last call before we sign off. And again, we'll be back live again at 3:00 here on the program. Let's go to MJ on the show. What's up, MJ? Welcome back. Nope. I guess not. Welcome back. And then goodbye. The hellos and goodbyes, they come and go so quickly. Well, there you go. Anywho, I guess that ends the show. Sorry, MJ, or whatever happened there technically. Hey, I know all about technical difficulties. We've had them all week on the show. But thankfully, I can finally say it now because the show's about to end. Knock on wood. We got past. No issues today. Blessed be he. Thanks, everybody, for joining the show. Like the video, hit subscribe. That is the free way to contribute here on Boy Green Daily. If you'd like to take the next step, feel free to join the Boy Green Coffee Club in the YouTube description down below. YouTube.com/BoyGreen25. That's our YouTube group. You can support the channel. It's only $2.99 a month. I try to make it as reasonable as possible for you guys, and also a way for you guys to contribute to the show if you enjoyed the product. Again, we will be live again at 3:00 today. Final mock draft, 7-round mock draft for me, 7-round mock draft for Woody. And I think I cooked. I think I will cook. And we'll explain more of that coming up later here on the program. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again at 3:00, baby. Can't wait for it. And again, our live stream is in 2 days, live at 8:00 at night. 4+ hour live stream, special guest, call-in line. And we're going to have a special giveaway live on the show as well. Former Jet players, insiders, all of it. It's going to be terrific. Can't wait. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's ride. Appreciate you. We'll see you next time.